another video. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment, and let us know what you want to see next. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So, Bradley Beal, I've seen a lot of trade talks with him and him basically getting traded to the Lakers for like Kuzma and like other pieces with White or whoever. And I'm just gonna go ahead and break down why it doesn't make any sense to make this move and why we need to stop doing this. So, Bradley Beal, don't get me wrong, great player. This guy is an elite player. He's put up in some insane numbers this season, 30 points a game with 45, 35. So he's been pretty good, 36 minutes a game. He's been pretty good, right? But I think what we're all missing is that LeBron and AD do not need a third star. With the max salary cap or the max contract space that they have, they need to spend that on good role players like Jeremy Grant, bring Rajon Rondo back, people like that. They don't need to try to go out and get a Chris Paul. It really doesn't make sense to get a Chris Paul. Look, LeBron has accepted the role as point guard of this team, right? LeBron, he averaged 10 assists this game, the most on the team. He was clearly the number one playmaker on the team, and obviously the best player on the team. So how does it make sense for them to go out and get another point guard, another ball-dominant point guard, knowing damn well that LeBron, can he play off the ball? Yes, he can play he can, but it wouldn't make sense. And I know CP3 is a floor general and shit like that, but I don't know how I feel about LeBron playing off the ball when he's, one, not that good of a shooter in the regular season, and two, he's best when you have the best player in the world, right? Let me say this. When you have the best player in the world, you want the best player in the world to be playing his best. And LeBron plays his best when the ball is, yes, in his hands. So with that being said, why would you want to bring CP3, who, first of all, is on a $44 million contract this season, so that's already taking up damn near your entire cap, but you bring him and he's like, okay, I'm the point guard of the team, and he's another ball-dominant player. So it's like, it doesn't make sense. And I know they're not going to do it. I know they're not even probably looking at Chris Paul. And if they are, and they do end up getting him, then obviously that's an L to me. That's a waste. But aside from that, why would Bradley Beal not fit with this team? So Bradley Beal, he shot 35% from three this season, which was good. Played 36 minutes a game. Was pretty much, he had to hoop every game, right? He can't work every day. He had to. He didn't have a choice. And he put up good numbers. But can we please remember what happens every time LeBron gets a third star? They go from once a dominant force like Chris Bosh and Kevin Love to a spot-up shooter. Now, I'm not saying Bradley Beal can't be a spot-up shooter, but the dude is only 6'3". And then he's not that good of a defender, right? So it's not like he's going to be a two-way presence, kind of like Chris Bosh was. Like, no. Bradley Beal is a scorer. He's a shot creator. So with that being said, when you have two people who also need the ball to score, they're not running off the ball, doing flare screens and shooting threes. Like, no, they need the ball in their hands so they can go to work. Which means Bradley Beal isn't going to have enough time or shots to get into rhythm. And that becomes a problem because you cannot have a third star that can't shoot with LeBron. So it's like, is he just going to become a spot-up shooter like a Klay Thompson type? Well, no, he can't do that because not only is he too small to be as good as a defender as Klay, but he's also nowhere near the shooter that Klay is. So the problem is going to end up being, how do we spread out the shots between our three stars while also making the offense the most versatile and getting everyone else involved? Because you can't just rely on three people to each put up 20 a game. It's not going to happen. And the only time that it did happen that I can remember, that I know, is when the Golden State Warriors added KD. And the reason is because Klay Thompson is really good off the ball. So he's the type of guy that can play off the ball and put up 60 points in a game with only 11 dribbles. That's why it worked so well for the Warriors. You had three stars, two of them being able to play off the ball, and one of them a 38% three-point shooter who also can play off the ball and is willing to play within the system. And I'm not saying Bradley Beal won't be willing to play into the system, but he's not a superstar talent. He only shot 35% from three this season. If we take the We take the Bradley Beal from what he is now and try to add it on the Lakers, it won't work. He won't be as good. He'll probably put up 15 a game, and his efficiency it might go up, but it could go down because, like I said, he doesn't have enough shots to get into a rhythm. Now, are there going to be nights where Bradley Beal gets hot and they feed the hot hand? Yeah, but if Bradley Beal is getting like if Bradley Beal isn't getting enough shots to get in rhythm, then he's not going to be able to consistently put up 20 points a game. And rhythm, yes, is important in basketball. It's why I'm trying to think of a good example. I can't think of a good example right now, but Bradley Beal does not need to go to the Lakers. It will ruin his career, and it will probably make the Lakers a whole lot worse. There are plenty of sharpshooters in the NBA. What they need to do is go out and get them a couple role players, solid role players. They need to get a little two-way shooter. They might want to look into Jeremy Grant. And it's people like that, people that can play defense, shoot the ball, and you know what I'm saying, and know their role. Like Bradley Beal, he's good enough to be the second option on the championship team. But as a third option, he's just not going to work. But with that being said, make sure y'all like and subscribe. Comment. Let me know what y'all want to see next. And this is Nate from Anything Goes, signing out.